Hello everyone, welcome back. Well, as you can see, I'm not on my own bike. I'm not on the 300, I'm on something entirely different. This is the Honda NC750 with a duo clutch. So, you know, there's no clutch lever as such. It's all automatic. There is a facility to put it in manual by a press of a button, and there's a couple of other buttons on the left hand side which you can go up and down through the gears, which is quite nice. But I tend to prefer to just keep it in the automatic and not have to worry about it. Alright, it might take a little while for you to get used to it, but yeah, it's not a bad little bike actually. It's got about 70 horsepower or something like that. It picks its feet up nicely. There's two modes, sort of normal mode, well, I'd much rather call it economy mode actually, because it goes in the highest gear possible. You know. But the other mode is sports mode, and as the revs to come up a bit higher, you get a lot more feedback from the bike. I think it's sort of built more for sort of economy than anything else. No, you've got no gear lever as such, no clutch, so you just press a button to put it into gear and away you go. Unlike a lot of these scooters, you do have a small percentage of engine braking, which is surprising. It's one thing I don't like about scooters. You throttle back and it is still trying to push you forward. With this it doesn't, which is quite nice. A bit more like a proper bike. So I drop back a little bit. You can see the old bars for the engine speed, rev count, or whatever you like to call it. It's green. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you'll be able to, the camera will be able to pick it up. I'm trying to drop back, you're getting even slower and slower. So I just give it a bit of throttle, you should notice it changes colour. There we go, it's changed to red. There's three different colours actually, I've noticed. There's red, blue and green. Obviously it's all to do with how economically you're riding. When you're accelerating it's going to be red, but when you're just sort of pootling about, hopefully it'll be green or blue. You're just sort of coasting or what have you, it's going to be green, and of course if you're just sort of maintaining speed or whatever, then it's going to be blue. So it's not too bad. It gives you an idea of how economically you're riding, if you want to take notice of that sort of thing. It's also got a gear position indicator just there. Hopefully the camera's just picked that up. If I press one of the buttons I can override it and drop it down a cog. Well, we're in 5th at the moment. I'll press the button, I've just dropped it down into 4th. So there is an override, so you can actually prepare for an overtake. Drop it down a cog to prepare for an overtake. It picks its feet up quite nicely. The only thing I will say, sometimes in the normal mode, or as I like to call it, the economy mode, where the revs are so low and it's only a twin, it can get a little bit lumpy. It's alright if you don't mind something throbbing between your legs, but apart from that, I think that's about the only criticism. The mirrors, nothing special, they're adequate. I would say motorcycle mirrors aren't the best things in the world, but they're adequate. The brakes, adequate, nothing to write home about. Single disc on the front, and obviously disc on the back. Nothing special, but it does the job. That's all I can say with that. Riding position is fairly neutral. It's comfortable, it's not uncomfortable at all. I'm quite comfortable on it. It's a nice easy bike to ride. And with it being an automatic, it's better around towns and cities, etc. But you get fed up with that lumpiness. You can put into sports mode, which allows it to hold the revs up a bit higher to make it smoother. Also, I found is you get better feedback from the bike. Sometimes you can feel it changing gear, sometimes you can't. Occasionally at low speed you might get a clunk. But generally it's not a bad bike to ride. It's quite breezy at the moment. But, get a little bit of buffeting from the wind, but I think you'll get that on any bike at the moment. With that wind, we're supposed to be having snow later. So we're 2,000 revs and we're just over 40 mile an hour, and it's trying to pull up in 6th gear. If you do open the throttle, it will drop down, but you've got to give it a decent handful. She will drop down a cog. One thing I will say though is if you're pulling out of a junction turning left or right, until you get used to the bike, you'll have to be a bit careful. Because I normally find that I'm still feathering the clutch by the time I've straightened up, whereas sort of like halfway across on this the clutch will be fully engaged, so you could end up sort of taking off and having a little faux pas on the opposite side of the road, which we don't want. So you just have to be a little bit careful and aware of it. Whereas normally, you know, you sort of just feather the clutch a little bit and just sort of ease that power back whilst you're turning. On this you haven't got that sort of luxury. But nevertheless, once you get used to it, it's okay. The only thing is, you've got to remember you haven't got a clutch pedal. Not clutch pedal, clutch lever. That's it. I'll get it right in a minute. You haven't got a clutch lever. I must admit, I do find myself several times opening up the left end to apply the clutch. There isn't one. Now, the bike does come equipped with a handbrake. Obviously, with it being automatic, etc, etc, you can't actually leave it in gear, so it's actually got a handbrake on it, which is handy in case you have to leave it on a slope or something like that. Stops it from rolling. Yeah, it does corner quite nicely, I have to admit. You're not pushing it at all because of the wind. It just caught me, but I was aware I was likely to get a gust there. One thing I will say, the bike does look pretty good. You know, there's nothing horrible about it. even the number plate holder and what have you, it doesn't stick out that far. Now if this was mine, I'd probably leave it as it is. I wouldn't bother getting the tail tidy putting on it. You know, it's pretty good, because most of the other bikes you sort of like have this appendage sticking out the back, which tends to be pretty awful visually anyway. And a couple of other differences with this bike. Well, the fuel tank is underneath the seat, and you see there is a tank there, but in between your legs as such, but it's not a tank, it's just a space, storage space. Normally it's big enough to put a helmet in, and I've seen people put helmets in there. Depends on the helmet and whether you've got Bluetooth and cameras stuck on it, etc, etc. I'll show you where you put your fuel in and tank in a minute, etc, etc. I've got to fill her up anyway. Right, okay. Whilst I'm here, yeah, key goes in there, turn it that way, and that should lift up that great big space there. Hopefully you can all see that alright. Doing this on the spur of the moment. Yeah, turn it the other way, and hopefully that should flick up. There we go, we've got a little lever there. Right, okay. Not the easiest of things to fill up. Right. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I don't think the tank is really that big. I think that's about it, I think. Ooh, not a lot really. Last time I did this I spilt some. So that's alright. Just lift that up and click it down. There we go. Oh, there you go, as you can see, filled up. You see in the compartment in the fake fuel tank. So nice little bike if you're just popping into town or something like that. If you just want to pick up a few items and what have you, you don't have to stick a rucksack on your back. Put your helmet in there, and when you come out, put your shopping in there with a helmet on your head. Very practical. Some more lights. We seem to be having quite a few roadworks and what have you at the moment. And I think overall it's a nice bike to ride. Would I have one? Probably not. But nevertheless, it's a nice bike. I'm happy to ride it. It's something different. Just got to be aware of a few little bits and pieces, because you haven't got the control with the clutch. But apart from that, yeah, nice bike. Easy to ride, easy handling. I think on that note, I can't think of anything else to say, so until next time guys, stay safe, cheery bye.